Hello, Eagles fans! The path forward for the Philadelphia Eagles is beginning to take shape, but not without some unexpected detours and crucial decisions looming over the franchise's most important offseason in recent years. I have some important points to discuss with you today, and rest assured you'll want to know about them. Before we begin, make sure you've already hit the like button, but only do this if you're a passionate Eagles fan. If possible, write, "Go Eagles! My heart bleeds green and white." First, I want to talk about this. The hiring of John Harbaugh by the New York Giants not only shook the NFC East, but also directly impacted the Eagles, eliminating Todd Monken, one of the team's main targets for the offensive coordinator position, from the competition. Monken was expected to follow Harbaugh, forming a package with the duo, and thus, a key name is out of the question for the Eagles. Now, time is running out, and fast. This OC job in Philadelphia isn't just another opening. It's the most high-pressure, high-profile offensive coordinator job available in the league. With weapons like Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and DeAndre Swift at your disposal, it's a unique opportunity, but it comes with the weight of expectation and accountability. The Birds don't just need a replacement for Brian Johnson. They need a visionary, someone who won't just run an offense. They'll redefine it around the quarterback's strengths, not their own playbook ego. That brings us to the names currently circulating. Mike McDaniel and Brian Daboll are reportedly at the top of the Eagles list. And let's be honest, both bring intrigue for very different reasons. McDaniel's offenses in Miami have been among the league leaders in motion rate and run game efficiency, a stark contrast to the Eagles' predictably static approach in 2023. It's no exaggeration to say Jalen Hurts has been elite in plays involving pre-snap motion, yet somehow Philly ranked near the bottom in using it. Imagine what this offense could look like with someone like McDaniel injecting creativity and unpredictability. But it's not all clean fits. Personnel questions arise with McDaniel. Would he retain Jeff Stoutland as run-game coordinator and O-line coach? Stoutland didn't have his best year, and the run game regressed. Would McDaniel want to overhaul that part of the staff entirely? That's a big question during these interviews, and one that could determine whether this pairing actually happens. Brian Daboll, on the other hand, comes with baggage and connections. He coached Hurts briefly back at Alabama, and there's history there, including some family-level scrutiny over how Hurts was used in that offense. Daboll's play-calling tendencies are also raising some eyebrows. Heavy run lean on second downs, overly conservative on third, a bit too predictable. Still, he's miles ahead of Brian Johnson in terms of offensive creativity and quarterback development. So, does familiarity with Hurts and NFL head coaching experience outweigh those concerns? That's what the front office is weighing. And yes, the Eagles have spoken to Ole Miss offensive coordinator Charlie Weis Jr., who has prior ties to Hurts and Jackson Dart. But let's be honest, hiring an unproven college OC with just 1 year of NFL experience from 2017 doesn't move the needle when this roster is built to win now. Weis Jr. may be a promising long-term project, but this is not the time for experimentation. While the OC search takes center stage, the Eagles' front office isn't standing still elsewhere. A wave of future reserve contracts just got announced, including names like safety Andre Sam, TE E.J. Jenkins, OT John Ojukwu, WR Danny Gray, and most notably, fullback Carson Steele. That's right. After Jeff Lurie promised the return of the fullback last offseason, and Ben Van Sumeren went down with a season-ending ACL tear on the first snap of Week 1, the team quietly went without a true FB all year. That won't happen again. Steele, while underwhelming statistically in Kansas City last year, brings a physicality and blocking potential that could be a missing piece for Philly's ground game revival, especially if the next OC emphasizes the run and multiple formations. And speaking of ground game help, let's not overlook the potential reunion being floated with offensive tackle Mekhi Becton. The Mountain hasn't been happy in LA with the Chargers and Greg Roman. He's even publicly admitted discomfort with Roman's system and the lack of communication from the staff, the Chargers have an out. They could move on from Becton while only eating $2.5 million in dead cap. With 1 year left on his deal, this is a golden opportunity for Howie Roseman to swoop in and bring Becton back into a locker room that already knows him. This matters more than people realize. Landon Dickerson's lingering injury concerns are real. He's admitted he's unsure if he'll even be at full strength by the start of the 2026 season. Combine that with a banged-up O-line that looked uncharacteristically shaky throughout 2025, and suddenly, reinforcing the trenches becomes priority one for the Eagles this offseason. Howie even acknowledged this head-on, that building offensive line depth is one of the most important tasks every single year. Now, while we're talking about potential departures and shifting dynamics, we also need to address Michael Clay. The Eagles' special teams coordinator was granted permission to interview with Tampa Bay for the same role. That might seem like a lateral move, but it signals a clear direction. Clay's contract is up at the end of the month, and the Eagles don't appear intent on bringing him back. While not a headline grabber, this is a subtle sign that sweeping changes are indeed coming to the coaching staff, even beyond offense. But let's pivot to the biggest name that's been floating around the rumor mill all off-season: A.J. Brown. Trade speculation has been loud, relentless, and, honestly, hard to ignore. And while Howie Roseman hasn't shut the door completely, he came as close to reaffirming Brown's place as he possibly could. He called A.J. a great player, not just in talent, but in love for the game. And the math of a pre-June 1st trade is brutal. A massive dead cap hit this year, though the team would save over $133 million across the next 3 seasons if they did decide to move him. Still, Roseman made it clear: the Eagles are in the business of acquiring great players, not moving them. And A.J. fits that mold. He's core. He's part of the identity. Trading him isn't off the table in theory, but unless something truly seismic happens, it's hard to imagine Philly seriously pulling that trigger. This is a guy who, when fully locked in, gives the Eagles one of the most dangerous WR duos in football, alongside Devonta Smith. That said, even with all these pieces in motion, it's hard to overstate how critical this offensive coordinator hire is going to be. The entire shape of this team, from Jalen Hurts' development to the usage of the fullback, to the resurgence of the run game, to the possible fate of A.J. Brown, it all hinges on the vision and leadership of whoever steps into that role. So, now I'll ask you, Eagles fans, what do you think? Of the names on the table: Mike McDaniel, Brian Daboll, Charlie Weiss Jr., and maybe even a dark horse. Who do you want to see calling plays for the Birds in 2026? What direction does this offense need to go? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be reading every one.